The curse falls to the ground as a repulsive ball of foul-smelling wool. This chort was created by a Khaldun. But who would wish harm upon Nikolai? You send the brewers for the intact beer barrels and return to the Izba.
Later, I called some men from Bakcha after I chased away the chort. They took the barrels with the cooked beer. Everything that was left in the cauldron was gone.
So much good beer wasted.
Looks like some Khaldun got involved.
Looks like it.
You also keep your eyes peeled around Nikolai. Who knows?
I will. Many Khalduns.
Yes, and the guests are helpless. If you ruin a wedding, you can ruin the entire lives of the newlyweds.
That's all right. Just be attentive. You will protect them.
Right. I shouldn't expect any help from Fetka.
We'll manage even without Fetka. All right, we need to go. The moment I became a Khaldun, I saw the Uyezd in a completely different light. There is no such place where a demon wouldn't hide. You just noticed? Your own chords are also a giant pain.
How did you come to be a Khaldun, Grandpa?
Well, told you the other day about the demon stealing Timofey. That's the reason for it. Fighting the pointy tail. I heard once that shepherds are no worse. So I became a shepherd boy. Helped Prokopy, the holy fool. I shouldn't mention him at night. Knew his way around the forest, that one. And how to find lost cattle. So I studied under him. Anyway, it's a long story. I'll tell you later how I received my knowledge. It's not like I got it from him anyway. Had to bust my butt. In any case, see how I managed to teach you. Appreciate that.
God bless Vasilisa Fyodorovna.
God bless.
Bride sent for you. She doesn't let anyone touch the banya. Says you're the only one who can.
That's right. Tell her I'll be there soon.
All right, I'm going.
And I will go to the Nikolaev. I'll be with the guests this evening. Be on the lookout. Don't forget about demons while you're looking out for Khaldun. Who knows who's mixed up?
All right, Grandpa.
Greetings, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. I've fallen ill. Have fever of sorts. Look, my arms are all withered. The day's near when I won't be able to hold a plow.
What did you expect? Weren't you the one last year who got drunk, climbed the Church of the Trinity, and knocked down a bell from there? Eh?
Yes, Yegor Yevlampovich. It was I. I come to you for repentance. Vasilisa Fyodorovna, heal me, please.
All right, I'll do something about it. One doesn't deserve to die because of this. Here, sit by the stove.
You whisper several healing Zagavers, and the visitor feels better.
Oh, thank you, mistress. I won't squander this chance.
Thank you for coming, Vasya. I've been crying the whole night. I have no strength left.
That's how it is. If you want a good marriage, you have to wail a bit.
I know. But it's not that simple. I won't miss the Abderiha much.
This way you'll get a taste of grief and cry, but your marriage life will be sweet.
Yes, we need to go to the Banya soon. Decorate it properly. No one knows these rituals better than you.
All right, go cry about your hair. You can comment without me.
I will leave you a red ribbon.
No need, I'll manage.
Thank you, Vasya. I'll go then.
Well, to decorate it properly, I need to place birches along the path and tie ribbons around the barn. Time to get to work.
Some birch branches lie here.
It turned out pretty beautiful. It will also keep the bride safe.
Here are the decorations for the banya. Satin ribbons, you take the ribbons from the chest.
I'm truly a master. It turned out pretty beautiful. It will also keep the bride safe.
There's nothing of interest left in the chest. The old banya reminds you of the Abdericha. You chase away these gloomy thoughts. There's no need to go beneath the bench here. You're just decorating the walls. You are thinking about what color to decorate the banya. The barrel jumps from side to side and sways as if it were alive. You call out to the barrel. A boy's hat peeks out of it.
Well, witch, today Petchka the witch hunter will expel you from this wedding.
Witch hunter? Stop blowing the flute. I'm here to help the bride.
Right, as if I'd believe ya.
The boy starts to torture his flute in a severe manner.
If he doesn't stop playing, my head will explode. I can bring him around, and the Kolduns can help too. What was it that the bride and groom appointed me? What do you expect? I'm the master of ceremonies here.
Right, I'm not 5 anymore. Only men can become witch hunters. Well, the hosts couldn't get rid of you.
You feel as if the flute is splitting your head.
If you don't stop playing now, I'll go get the rods. I won't even need my shorts.
All right, I believe you. I heard that the Kolduns curse weddings. I'm here to protect it.
So, you think I can't manage? Will you help me to guard this wedding?
I can. Together, we can do it for sure. Defeat the Kolduns.
It's time for me to lead the bride to the banya.
I'll look after you, witch. Let's deal with it peacefully, all right?
After the preparations are made, it's time to accompany the bride to the banya. A crowd of people has gathered to watch the ritual. Everyone wants to hear the wailings of old and have a look at the decorations. You sweep the road in front of the bride so that no cursed items will be trodden upon. You warn the bride that guests from her side might show up soon. Shorts sent by the Abdiricha. You're right. As soon as the fire is lit in the banya, a demon appears. After you catch your breath, you wash the bride while speaking the ritual Zagavers, and then help to get her in the wedding dress. Carts with wedding guests have already started to arrive at the yard. There will be a wedding gathering this evening, so there's going to be quite a crowd. Nikolai is here, as well as old Yegor, the master of ceremonies, and the groom's relatives. The moment the guests enter the yard, the mother of the bride brings her daughter out.
You came. Jesus, so many people.
Well, we came, yes, so greet your guests.
No wind and then a gale. No guests and then a swarm.
Greetings, Igor Yevlampovich, Master of Ceremonies.
Howdy! Soon we'll make you completely human.
Greetings, noble best man, my loyal friend.
Well, as they say in Sheridan, bonjour!
Greetings, betrothed.
Greetings. See, I'll fulfill my promise very soon.
Oh well, the evening won't start by itself. Time to drink for the bride.
Don't go ahead of the cart. When the Master of Ceremonies tells us to, then we will start.
Come on! You're too ceremonial. They do everything quicker in the city.
Right. And the people there will lose what's left of their souls soon. We'll start this wedding proper, as it's supposed to be started.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't be angry, Vasilisa Fyodorovna. Igor Yevlampich, it will be as you say.
Unharness the horses and get ready for dinner. And I need to speak to you, matchmaker.
As you say, Igor Yevlampich. As you say. Come here.
Could you be a bit quicker, old man?
Come. You'll get what you're due soon enough.
Well, Vasilisa, we've been through fire together to end up here.
Wait a little bit. This feast will get pretty fiery soon.
Vitka, how are you doing after that night?
I don't quite remember what happened, Vaisa. I only know one thing. If it wasn't for you, the feast would have been my last. I won't forget it.
It turns out you're like a mother to everyone here.
Kola, prepare your coins. We have a song for you. Hey, hit it! Petka, let's have some drums!
I'm not your typical bride. The others usually say goodbye to their home. I learned about this only recently.
You had a chance to see it. Not every cursed one has that chance.
That's right, but you'll help me if something goes wrong?
I didn't save you from a demon for nothing.
Thank you, Vasia.
So that's how life turns out to be. For so many years, I've been raising a log, and my daughter was suffering from demons. Oh, Jesus Christ. How did it happen? Forgive me, Lord.
How can you live with this friend of yours? I just don't get it.
He's all right. A funny guy. Anyway, I want to speak to you about something else. We need to guard this wedding. Notice anything?
Right, instead of Fetka. But no, everything seems proper.
Keep your eyes open. Don't give any curse a chance to settle.
Talk to you later, Grandpa.
Remember how I taught you?
Of course I do.
Well, try to find some wool or bean sprouts. You need to dispose of them if some chort left them behind.
All right, Grandpa.
If there's any cursed wool in the bride's way, it will bring bad luck. If it's bare wool, the procession might not be able to pass at all. You inspect the floor, but you don't notice any cursed artifacts.
Everything is quiet at the moment. There are no Kulduns around except for you and Old Igor. I'm keeping my eyes open. If I notice any chorts, I'll tell you.
Chorts? Regular people don't see them.
Wrong. Anyone can see a chort today. Have you heard about the carts with no horses? Who moves them if not chort?
Well, I know that chorts spin the grindstone.
Uh-huh. And who's pushing a cart if there are no cattle? Chorts! Who else? And then there's another thing. The locomotive, for instance. Oh! And have you heard about Peligraph? Recently in Solikamsk, the Peligraph chorts made such a ruckus. The peasants pulled down Peligraph. It's a sort of nobility that they have a the graph. They cut Pele the Graph.
I've heard something about Pele the Graph.
Be on the lookout. Pele the Graph himself may show up.
You may go on your way. It turns out the room is noisy because several men decided to kill some time by playing cards. They are so immersed in the game that they fail to notice you.
Hardly anyone visits this part of the house.
You may go on your way. Finally, after the prolonged greetings of the foreign guests, the ritual of drinking to the bride begins. The bride brings wine to everyone, and the guests sit in the traditional order. A dinner is served that consists of many dishes: jellied minced meat, meat soup, fish pie, and calf's head. These are only a tiny portion of all the dishes served. The whole week before the wedding, the bridesmaids and the bride were preparing wailings of grief. Now it's time for songs of praise and glory. Before continuing the feast, you decide to stretch your legs and walk into a decorated room.
And she has the blackest book. And her eyes. A true Satan. She looked at me and I sort of froze. She wanted to set her chort on me. But then I told her, I'll hit you so hard.
What did you tell me?
Ah, sweet mother,
Oh, Jesus!
It's me who's going to hit you hard. Or should I send my chort on you?
Oh, Vasa, don't curse him. He was a fool. Don't be strict with him. He used to tease me too when I was with Proshka. I know that you're good. You should be called a witch doctor.
Akulina, was it you who I cured of Ikota?
It was me, Vasilisa. Thank you, mistress.
This chort has no business sitting as an Ikota. Proshka is doing good now. He's traveling with me.
So, he's helping you. Who knew it would turn out so well? This is my friend, Pyotr. He's very good with his flute.
Well, it is.
If you tell any more stories like that about me, you won't have any limbs to hold that flute. Got it?
Got it.
The neighbors of this tall carpenter are lying face down on their plates, snoring peacefully.
Do you think I bored them with my talking? Oh no, that's not the case. In all of Perm Gubernia, there's no man more dashing than me. Well, if it's about carpentry or drinking. Anyway, in all the rest, I'm afraid I'm not that good.
Vasilisa Feodorovna, God be with you. I know I didn't believe you outright, but I was wrong. Oh, thank you, Vasilisa Feodorovna. I don't know how to thank you. Take some sour cream. Oh, it was a lucky day when we met you. Oh, Vasilisa,
Such a man she got herself, right?
Hush! Do you want to curse her?
Me? I can't curse. Here, Vasya will prove me right, right? But what a man, a soldier. Maybe I should get dragged away by chorts?
Aren't you afraid that the bride used to be a changeling?
What's there to be scared about? She's ordinary now.
Things happen in life. It wasn't her decision to become a demon. Such was her fate.
The only one to blame here is her mother.
Oh, she's also suffered her fill with the changeling. God is forgiving.
The feast is not yet over, but it will not continue on without your approval. The feast continues, and each of the guests is honored with a song of glorification. After each song, it is customary to thank the singers with some money. Your turn comes. The song begins, "Ty kняжна наша Svashenka." When the sound of the choir dies down, a girl with a tray approaches you. The girls bow and thank you before praising the other guests. At the end of the feast, a ritual dish is served. Selyanka, a large baked pudding with eggs. Nikolai deftly cuts a piece of pie and gifts his mother-in-law the customary coins. The feast will go on until morning, but old Yegor convinces you that tomorrow is the most important day, the traveling of the wedding procession to the wedding ceremony. You go home to have a little rest before dawn.
God bless, Yegor Yevlampovich, Vasilisa Feodorovna. I came for you, Vasilisa. I'll get you to Pakcha. And you, Yegor Yevlampovich, will get to Vilgard. Get ready. I'll wait for you at the gates.
You reach the bride's izba with the light of dawn. The changeling girl sits under the icons and starts a long ritual of saying farewell to the maidenly headband. The bridesmaids chant Ujyasyaduka, Maladyoshenka. The bride hands out red satin ribbons to everyone. The bride gives the prettiest one to you. The ritual drags on, and the guests have yet to arrive. The sounds of the last wailings quiet down close to the evening. The bridesmaids begin dressing the bride in the wedding gown, and you decide to look once more for cursed items in the yard while waiting for the guests. You go down into the yard. It looks empty and grim without wedding guests. Not surprising. This roof was home to an evil spirit for many years. You jump from a sudden rustling. You think you heard it coming from one of the haystacks, but which one? There was some noise coming from this haystack. Or was it that haystack? Two dark figures emerge from the shadows.
Aha! We've caught a witch!
Oh, it's Vasilisa.
This isn't a fairy tale. What if I took you for an evil spirit?
Sorry, Vasya. We were trying to ambush an evil Khaldun, not you.
Someone has been here for sure. We've been watching all night and saw it. He sneaked in and planted an ikota on the wedding.
Oh, Christ in heaven! Not an Ikota.
It's alright. I'll protect you. Khalduns have no business cursing weddings.
What did that Khaldun do?
He whispered a lot and did something with his hands.
I think he was scattering cursed items.
We'll help you find them, Vasya.
She likely won't find it by herself.
All right, if you want to help, go right ahead. Petka, look in this haystack for a peapod with 9. You, Akulina, look in that haystack, and I'll search the yard.
Clear. You like...
All right, Vasilisa.
Beer. Leftovers from yesterday.
The chest contains snowy white bed sheets for the newlyweds. They must be given to the house of... You closely inspect the floor. To your horror, you find a patch of burned dog hair. You remove it with a zagavar and throw it away in disgust. Petka suddenly calls out to you.
Vasya, I found it, I think.
I too found some traces of the curse. You and I both have some. What do you have, Akulina?
Oh,
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't have any.
I found some, Vasya. Also pod.
Quite a few curses. Powerful Khaldun is involved here.
The children look at each other worrisomely.
Give me those pods. Who knows what else is our enemy capable of?
You jump from the sudden knock at the gates. The children run inside the house, screaming. After several minutes of bargaining, you open the gates.
Go get your bride upstairs. I need to speak to the Master of Ceremonies.
You seem alarmed, Vasilisa.
I found so many cursed things right now. Someone powerful is trying to curse this wedding.
You tell old Yegor about your discoveries.
You can stop the wedding now.
But why? Wait, I'll tell Nikolai.
Old Yegor forcefully grabs your arm.
Hold there. Do you want to spoil their wedding? If you stop the procession right now, their whole life could go sideways.
Yes, but what if we're stopped on our way down the aisle? No one knows how all these curses turn out.
That's your task, Matchmaker, to guard the procession against it. If it stops, then yes, only God knows what will happen. Don't bother the betrothed. Do your job, and I will do mine. We'll teach Fechka some zagavars. He may learn something yet.
All right, Grandpa.
Let's go. We need to bless them on their way.
All the guests gather in the Izba. After the blessings of Nikolai and his bride, the procession departs to Vilgort, to the Church of the Trinity.
girl sure is lucky, right?
Yes. If you can return from another world, she wouldn't have done it by herself. We helped her. So is the case with the other dead. They can't get back by themselves.
So Kolya wouldn't pull her out without you.
Without me or Grandpa, unlikely.
You know, I've been thinking. In a way, he also pulled me out from the grave. If he didn't come that night to the pothouse, Schurz would have killed me.
Yes, I think that's how it happened.
I've heard what the girls in Vilgard have been saying, that you didn't want to become a witch. But you did become one, right? And so I've been thinking, you did it to help your betrothed.
Why would you think that?
You and your grandpa are taking me for a fool. But I see lots of things. The dead men can't go back by themselves, right? I visited lots of evening gatherings. I saw how much you loved him. So I think you decided. Vasya, stop this nonsense. Nothing good will come of it. You brought back that girl, but she never died. She was kidnapped, right? I was quite close to being dead, but she betrothed. Is dead. Buried.
Quit running your mouth. You don't understand anything.
Wait, don't be angry. I'm not joking. I came close to seeing the afterlife. There's no coming back from there, and your chores constantly beg you for a walk, right? So how many people have you cursed already?
Not so many.
And what's next? Sooner or later, they'll get hungrier and hungrier and start dragging our souls to the grave. I've listened closely to many stories. Your church will also drag you to hell, along with who knows how many peasants.
You may be right. The Chorts constantly ask for work. If I give them some slack, they'll ruin everything they see. But what else can I do? You're saying my Chorts will be the death of me. You can't know my fate, and you don't know his fate.
That's right. I don't. But I decided to make my own fate. You have your fate. You heard the Troika, so that's your fate. Maybe it wasn't a trick. But I have it differently. You remember how I stole from the shop? It wasn't the first time. I've done lots of similar things. I think maybe I should quit this kind of life. Start a household. I know it's not as fun or exciting. You saved me. So I wanted to ask your advice. You were nowhere after all. What do you think?
Well, Fedka, I've always told you to abandon your life of pleasure.
Right, I'll try. Old habits die hard. Next thing you'll know, I have my own household.
You better remember these words of yours.
I will. I'm not old enough to have a bad memory.
Fedka grins and flings the reins. Pakcha village is surrounded by mist, and the road to Vilgard lies ahead of you. You think that if someone wanted this wedding ruined, he wouldn't be stopped this easily. You look around anxiously and prepare for the worst. The winding path lures you in with a damp mist and mysterious shadows. What spirits hide behind them? Soon, you get to Cold Creek Ford. Yours and the bride's carts cross the water with a splash, but the third cart isn't so lucky. One of the wheels hits a stone, and all its passengers fall overboard. You look around and notice demon eyes in the dark. Fedka gives you a questioning look. What should you do with the rest of the guests? You hold the horses and give a lift to several nimble guests. The older and slower ones are lost in the mist. Behind your back, you hear human screams and demons croaking. In the mist, you can't tell what has become of the guests left behind. The wedding train reaches the shadows of the gloomy trees of the Crooked Forest. Strange sounds escape the evening darkness. It appears the mysterious Khaldun cursed this road as well. Your suspicions prove correct. Although you have known this forest since you were a child, the road meets a fork that you have no memory of. Looks like the turn on the right is used more often than the one to the left. Another fork. To the left of you, the forest parts, and to the right, the road loops back around. The road stops at a wide glade. While the wedding procession is turning around, you have some time to gather some healing herbs. Another fork. To the left of you, the forest parts, and to the right, the road loops back around. It seems that the road stops at this empty field. You can... Another fork. To the left of you, the forest part. Your suspicions prove correct. Although you have known this forest since you were a child, the road meets a fork that you don't recognize the last fork either. The road to the left looks like it's submerged in darkness, and you see some moonlight above the road to the right. You arrive at another fork. The road to the left lies through a thick forest, and to the right, you see a clearing amongst the trees. Finally, the forest is behind you. Vilgert is close, so you decide to take a break. Mikhail's crossroads look unfamiliar. You feel as if you have entirely lost your sense of direction. You can't tell north from south. It's as if you are standing at this crossroads for the first time. You decide to resort to sorcery. You quickly whisper the words of the Zagaver and listen. You chose the right way. You make no mistake in choosing the road. This task is right down your alley. The road to Vilgert passes by uneventfully, and you have a chance to rest. Looks like this is the last piece of the road to the Church of the Trinity.
Vasilisa, stop the procession!
Alexander, we can't! It's a bad omen!
I suppose I can hide it now. No time to argue. I intend to curse your wedding procession, and I'm willing to see it through.
What? Are you telling me that everything you do is based on science?
I can leave it be, but only if you give me the book.
I can't give you the book, you know that!
Then it's the only way. Give me the book, Vasilisa, and the guests will be safe.
They have nothing to fear. I'll protect the wedding.
me the book, Vasilisa.
They have nothing to fear.
don't want to hurt you, Vasilisa.
You've been lying like the devil himself, and now you want me to believe you?
Give me the book, Vasilisa.
They have nothing to fear.
I don't want to hurt you, but
You've been lying like the... They have nothing to fear.
Alexander's driver notices that his master is weakened and strikes the horses. The carriage drives away. With horror, you realize that his last Zagavers weren't directed at you, but at the procession. The horses lose their footing, and the first carts overturn with a terrible crash. The world around you turns into a cacophony of screams, both animal and human. Alexander's curse hits the weakened wedding procession and slices through it. Some of the wedding guests turn into wolves and run into the forest. Others have lost consciousness or are injured from the crash. You notice old Yegor and run towards him. Several Zagavers later, and your mentor comes to his senses.